as an ABC officer?
Objection again to the extent that it's calling for a legal conclusion. You try to answer it in your lay opinion as best you can.
At that time, I didn't know that there was supposed to be a contract. I didn't receive anything in the paperwork for ABC or the ABC administrator's job that required that.
But I'm referring to services, but as we sit here, you do agree that you did provide services for the ABC?
I did.
And the term provision of a service is defined as being a contract. You understand a contract can be in writing or it could be oral.
Objection, this is a matter of a legal opinion now, and he's asking a lay witness about a legal opinion or the term of what a legal
He's
word
asking her
is.
if she understands that, she can say no. That's not asking for a legal conclusion, he's saying, do you understand it? Her answer would be yes, I do,
Okay,
no,
no.
I don't.
Have you ever hired somebody to come to your house and said, will you mow my yard and they say, I'll do it for $20, and they mow your yard, and you hand them a $20 bill?
That's a verbal agreement, yes.
Okay. So would you agree that you can have a verbal, it doesn't have to be in writing, to have an agreement that you're gonna provide services, whether,
Depends on if I trust that person or not.
did you trust yourself to provide the ABC services to the city?
Yes, I did.
So again, I go back to, or I'll move on. So then, have you ever seen KRS 61.252?
Did you relay that for me?
It's a prohibition against city officers and employees contracting with city or city agency for property or services. Have you ever seen that statute? And I'm going to read it to you. No officer or employee of any city or city agency shall directly or through others undertake, execute, hold, or enjoy in whole or in part any contract made, entered into, awarded, or granted by the officers or employees, city or city agency, with the following exception. So it's saying that basically you can't have a contract to do services for a city if you're an officer or employee.
I think he's testifying at this point.
I'm answering our question.
What's the question?
I'm getting to it. Well, let me ask, would you agree you're an officer of the city as a mayor?
Yes,
Okay, and you've said that you provided services as an ABC officer, correct?
yes.
Okay, let me just ask you about these exceptions. Do you believe that you're providing the ABC services were publicly disclosed in a meeting of the governing body, the city or city agency?
Objection to the extent that it calls for the legal opinion.
Noted, if you can answer, she can answer, you can always say no. Or she doesn't understand.
Don't understand.
Did you disclose, before you wrote the $3,000 check to yourself, did you disclose to the city council that you were gonna pay yourself $3,000 to be the ABC officer?
Only got ordinance.
So you didn't go in and actually ask them that I'm gonna pay myself $3,000?
Not verbally.
And you would agree that, I think we've already went through it, in January of 2019, there was no discussion of pay. It was gonna be looked at and applied retroactively, if decided to do so. Correct?
Retroactive, yes. Can I say something?
Well, let me just ask questions, and I think your attorney will ask you
Okay.
questions at that point. And I believe you mentioned former Mayor Livingood, and he did provide ABC services for no charge, correct?
Yes, he appointed the self, there's a difference.
Right, and he didn't charge money at all.
That's correct.
Okay. So even though there was an ordinance that said 10 to 15,000, he did not pay himself.
Yes, they,
And did the former clerk advise you that Mr. Livingood never paid himself to be the ABC officer?
yes, I mean,
And why did you feel that you should be paid when he did it for free?
I was appointed, he appointed himself. I felt like that would be unethical to appoint myself as ABC administrator and then receive a pay. The ordinance advised, and Mr. Livingood, and I believe Mr. Purcell is the one that passed that ordinance for that range of pay, 10 to 15,000.
So you believe that because your position was in January, that council made the nomination and confirmed you that that was what distinguished it, that they wanted you to be compensated versus former Mayor Livingood just appointing himself without council approval?
Yes,
Now, the services rendered Did you make disclosure of them in the official record of the city at any point after your
Yes.
$3,000 check? When did you make those part of the city record that you had written yourself a $3,000 check?
Treasurer's report.
When was the treasurer's report
I think
submitted?
it was for the June treasurer's report, probably the first Tuesday in July.
Did the city council ever determine it was in the city's best interest for you to be paid that $3,000?
At that time, no.
Objection to the extent that it's calling for a legal opinion.
It's not a legal opinion. You can ask this, you heard the council say, that's okay. Don't answer it as a legal opinion, consult your attorney, but the question, did council ratify that action? Is that what you're trying to ask?
No, did the council ever determine it was in the best interest that you be paid that $3,000 for serving the city?
Have some of the council said that?
Did the council ever have a meeting and say, we believe that was in the city's best interest for you to have gotten that $3,000?
We had a meeting in executive session.
Okay. In an executive session, did they determine it was in the city's best interest?
Objection, you're asking her to disclose something that occurred in an executive session,
It's not a good idea.
which then invalidates all executive sessions for everybody here at the table. I think we kind of get into an area of
I'll move on. The point is, there's no action to be taken in executive session, correct?
There can be if they come out and take action.
But
There was
nothing-
action that day.
There was no action taken from that
There
executive
was an
session.
agreement in executive session, but there wasn't any action.
I think she just opened it up, but that's all right. Go ahead.
I mean, I guess the council wants to waive the executive session. Well, I'll move on. And again, it's never been in the record, and I think you referenced the treasurer's report that showed the $3,000 check, correct?
Yes.
So then, at some point in time, that check is issued, and, which bill one is the court report? One to Mr. Edge.
Give her an opportunity to mark it, whatever it is.
Do you want to mark that? Exhibit 4.
Can you state what it was, or is?
Oh, this is a letter of October 6, 2019, to the Attorney General from, it's on City of Crittenden letterhead from City Attorney Alex Edmondson. Have you seen this document before?
Yes,
And did you ask Mr. Edmondson to send this, or did City Council?
City council.
But have you seen this letter before?
Just recently, when I received a letter back from Attorney General.
Okay, so you did not know that the city attorney had sent this to the Attorney General back in October of
I
2019?
knew about it, Brandon, but I didn't see it.
Okay. So what was your understanding of what Mr. Edmondson had sent down to the Attorney General's office?
I really believe that the city council was requesting whether the office of the mayor and office of alcoholic beverage control is incompatible.
And I want to go down to number 4,
Okay.
where it says, on the second page, does the receipt of compensation for performing the duties of the office of ABC Administrator by a mayor have any effect on the compatibility of the two offices? Do you see that?
I see.
But would you agree that the question has never been addressed, what you and I were just going through, or sent to the Attorney General, on whether or not, under KRS 61-252, this services thing we were just talking about, that question was never asked of the Attorney General. Would you agree with that?
I think it speaks for
I
itself.
think, yeah, I mean, you're asking her
It'll
to,
stipulate that that's in the record.
Okay, that's fine.
Jimmy, you okay with that?
That's right. That document
yeah,
speaks for
I
itself.
mean, you got the person that
The document
authenticated right
speaks for
there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I can't speak to what he's,
Actually, I didn't write it.
Did or
For
didn't
the record,
do it,
I didn't
the
write it.
council
Pete
did or
Whaley
didn't.
wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Who wrote
Council
it?
didn't resign.
Got you.
Who wrote it? I didn't write it.
Pete Whaley.
Okay.
So as we sit here today, I think you're not aware of the Attorney General ever getting back to Mr. Edmondson or the city about this letter, correct?
think I'm getting confused on two letters, okay?
Okay.
I don't know, this one was back in 2019. I'm not for sure if I just responded from this letter recently.
Let
There's
me
been
dis-
several letters.
disregard that, I think I can clear this up for you. Send these two down.
Yeah, for you.
One for the court.
Could you make that number 5, please?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what was confusing. It took from October 6, 2019 to October 22nd, 2020 to get to me from the Attorney General's office, so yes.
So, this is the letter I think you're referring to. You received this letter from the Attorney General's office on October 22nd of 2020, not 2019.
Correct.
Okay. And in that, they advised that on October 6, 2019, the Kentucky Office of the Attorney General received correspondence from Crittenden City Attorney requesting guidance with regard to compatibility of office. I've enclosed the document for your review. You received this letter, and then you did issue a response, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I want to show you another document. Mark as exhibit, what, 6?
Yep, 6. Could you mark this as 6, please? Sir?
Is this the letter that you sent in response to that October 22nd letter?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you sent this to Carmine Iacarino?
Yeah, I emailed it to Selena, I forget what her last name is, but she was to send it on to Mr. Alvarez.
To Mr. Ray. She's got a copy.
I can read it.
Okay, okay.
I want to direct your attention down to the bottom of that page, when it starts with then on January 8, 2019.
Okay.
By way of resolution, the council appointed me to the ABC administrator and held the salary designation in abeyance while researching the issue. Is there a reason why you never told the Attorney General's office that you actually you paid yourself $3,000?
It was 10 to 15,000.
Right,
According to the ordinance.
but you said and held the salary designation in abeyance while researching the issue.
Right.
You didn't, and you said, please see said resolution. Didn't you think it was prudent to tell them that you had paid yourself $3,000?
I thought they'd already told them that. I thought that's what the letter, I mean, I've had so many back and forth that I thought they already knew that, knew the amount.
Okay, so you thought Mr. Edmondson's letter had told them the amount?
It'd been a year since, I mean,
Let it speak for itself, whatever it says.
You've been mayor now for, what, 2 years?
approximately.
Approximately 2? Have you ever had to hire an employee other than, obviously you were the ABC administrator, you hired a new city clerk, correct?
Yes.
And did you appoint the clerk and the council approve your appointment?
I brought 2 clerks in that were great candidates and allowed the council to pick what employee that they thought was preferable.
Now, in your experience as a mayor, do you think you could have, that you could appoint yourself to be, I don't know, public works director, for example?
As mayor,
Yes.
there was an ordinance.
So your position is that there's an ordinance that creates the position of mayor, or that creates the position of public works, that you could appoint yourself to it?
I don't think that'd be ethical in my opinion, but, you know, if there's an ordinance, isn't that the law?
So, you don't think it was ethical, do you think it was ethical to get paid to be the ABC administrator, to basically have yourself put in there and pay yourself to be the ABC
They
administrator?
want me to move position, yes.
And so, going back to the determination, is there a reason why, and I may have asked you this earlier, you were appointed in January, why did you wait, if you felt you were entitled to money, why did you wait till June 27th to pay yourself?
Actually, they did. So I just wanted to see what kind of work that it was involved, what was involved with the position and what I thought was, was reputable to pay them. The ordinance does say 10 to 15,000. I didn't agree that being paid that much for that, that line of work.
Is there anything different that you did that former Mayor Livingood did? Or did you both do the same job?
I can't answer for Mr. Livingood, but he did.
What did you do as ABC? Did you have to go and issue licenses?
But yeah, you go, yes.
How many ABC licenses are in the city?
I'm thinking 7 or 8.
Did you have to do inspections of the premises?
Yes, I have a list, what I've done, and, I don't have it with me.
And you said, I believe you had to go to training as well. Did you ever think about appointing a third party to be the ABC administrator and have them perform that job?
If, yeah, I thought about that, and council even has agreed to do that, after the fact, for free. And it reverted me back to the same question of, at the time, I didn't think, I thought I was in trouble for taking an oath, and it'd be the same with council taking an oath, and being ABC administrator.
Had you not taken the oath, would you felt you should have been paid $3,000?
Had I not taken the oath? I don't think that really is relevant.
And you do admit that you did take an oath, I believe, from Becky Simpson? I believe that's all the questions I have right now.
Anybody need a real quick break? I know we've been sitting there now and a half, and so go ahead and start it. Anybody need to run to the restroom, anything like that, or very good? Let's do 5 minutes. We'll be able to get done 5 minutes. The restroom right there.